So thank you all for joining.
Sir,
So,
it's a pleasure to join your class.
oh, thank you for that compliment. So though it is a weekday, all of you are managing time to attend these classes. So that's really good of all of you. So today's session is really very unique, which you have never seen in your life. You even have not come across this kind of session in your life. And the topic for today's discussion is the mystery of sound. Sir, what is this sound and all? Water is of some use. Air is very useful. Water is very useful. What is this sound? What is the use of sound? Which we have never thought of, right? But sound has so many things actually. We cannot even imagine what is there in sound. Hmm? So, if you have seen earlier days, whenever war used to happen, if you have seen Mahabharata movie, uh, before shooting some arrow, they used to chant some mantras. You have seen that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then they leave that particular arrow and it goes and uh, takes different forms, isn't it? Like there is something called as Brahmastra,
Yes, sir.
there is something called as Agni Astra, which produces fire around it. There is some water astra also. So if someone shoots fire towards you, you shoot one arrow which produces water and tries to nullify the effect of the other arrow. So they used to
Yes, sir.
chant mantras. They used to chant mantras. So they used to use the sound energy to invite it, and then they used to shoot. That much powerful sound is actually. All of you, if possible, can switch on your videos. It will be very useful for interaction. Yeah. Narayan sir, good evening. So, I will show you one video to begin with today's session. Before that, let us all chant this particular mantra for Guru before starting the session. All of you know this mantra. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yeah, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
So, today's topic for the session is mysteries of sound. So, all of you might have come across something about sound. Basically, we study about sound in 8th standard CBSE and 9th standard CBSE. How many of you have learnt of something about sound? You can raise your hand. 8th and 9th standard students have surely learnt about sound. You might have come across something called as wavelength, frequency, this kind of terminologies. You would have also learnt sound is a form of energy. Yes, we have around 10-15 students. Yeah, very good. All of you know about sound. Yes, very good. If you don't know, you will learn something today. No worries. So, human beings can hear a particular frequency of sound only. So that frequency is said to be 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Hertz is a unit of frequency of sound. And sound is a form of wave. It is said when sound travels, it travels in the form of a wave. And it is said when wave travels from one point to another point, it takes with it something called as energy. So sound energy travels with sound wave, right? So all of you are able to hear me. That is because of that sound wave which is reaching all of you through your ears. So hear and ear are very close to each other, right? Hearing and ear. Hear, ear. We hear through ear. So nice. So sound has different frequencies. Few frequencies we can hear, few frequencies we cannot hear. Some sounds only some animals can hear. Some sounds human beings can hear. Some sounds animals cannot hear. Humans can hear. Some sounds animals can hear, but humans cannot hear. So there are different permutations and combinations, right? So now, can anyone tell me how sound is produced?
Sir, by vibrating bodies.
By vibrating bodies. Sound is a form of energy produced by vibrating bodies. Now vibration can happen in any body, right? Literally every body in the universe vibrates. So all of you know that there are atomic vibrations. All of you know structure of atom. So there is atom, there is electron, there is nucleus. Yeah. Atom is the smallest unit of any substance. It is the smallest unit. Every substance has smallest thing in them. What is that? Atom. We call it as anu. From this concept of atom only, today human being has successfully made atom bombs, nuclear bombs, right?
Yes, sir.
And
Mati
these,
Kannad.
yes, and these atoms vibrate. Nuclei vibrates. So you can imagine, even small things vibrate and produce their own sound. Every molecule produces sound. Every atom vibrates and produces sound. Few sounds we can hear, few sounds we cannot hear. If you cannot hear some sound, does it mean that there is no sound?
No, sir.
Nothing like that, right? The sound exists, but you may not be able to hear because human ear has some limit. Yeah, our sense organs are not perfect, right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Our
sir.
eyes, our eyes have some
Yes, sir.
limitations. If I
Yes,
am
sir.
wearing spectacles, means eyes have limitations. My ears have limitations. My mouth has limitation. Whatever sound I produce to some distance you can hear. Long distance you cannot hear. For long
Yes, sir.
distance, you need communication system, right? And
Yes,
if you
sir.
see, molecules also vibrate. There are different kinds of movements of molecules. You can see here, symmetric stretching may happen. Symmetric stretching means if you divide this first molecule, it is alike on both the sides, right? Symmetric. There is asymmetric stretching also. There can be bending of atoms in molecules. There can be rotation of the atoms. So there are different kinds of vibrations molecules can produce. So at microscopic level, different kinds of vibrations are happening. And every vibration produces a particular kind of sound. Are you all understanding? Like in guitar and piano, we have a string. the vibration of that string produces a particular frequency sound. Yeah. In schools, most of your teachers are lady teachers, right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
You know why they keep lady teachers? First thing is they give motherly love. All of us want motherly love, right? So mothers are very loving to children. First
Yes,
thing
sir.
is that. Second thing, ladies, they have very high frequency sound. If they scold someone means you are gone. That kind of frequency sound they produce. All of your understanding.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If male teacher produces sound, none of the child hears or none of the child becomes attentive. But if a female teacher creates sound, she scolds someone, students become attentive immediately. That is because they have a very high frequency sound. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
So sound is not something which is simple to understand. All of you have fingerprints, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All of you have a voice print.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All of you have a unique voice, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Unique sound.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
see,
sir.
such a wonderful design all of us have. The sound which I am producing now, it is unique only to Manish. Right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, one time I tried to prank one of my relative by producing some different sound. But the frequency which I produce is same. I cannot change it. So I was just talking with him in different sound. Some people produce woman sound, lady sound, some dog sound, cat sound. Huh? So I tried to prank him, but he after 2-3 minutes he identified me. He said, "Hey Manish, I know it is you only." Because of my unique voice, he identified me. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So every sound produces a particular pattern in our ears. All of you have studied structure of ear in biology, structure of human ear.
Yes, sir.
So there are some parts like the outer part of the ear is called pinna. This is the outer part. It is conical shape, right? Our ears are conical shape so that the sound enters our ears easily. Then there is something called as eardrum inside. It is a stretched membrane. When someone produces sound, the eardrum vibrates and that produces that particular sound and it gets amplified inside our ears, and then that sound signal is sent to our brain, and brain actually analyzes that sound and then we hear the sound. It's a big process which is happening inside our body, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And it is a very complex process happening in human body. How sound is analyzed, how sound is sensed by human beings, it is completely different process. So that's why sound is a unique kind of energy. Like light also has energy, sound also has energy. Different kind of lights. See, have you all studied about spectrum? Different colored lights produce different spectrum. Hydrogen spectrum. Sunlight produces different pattern. Spectrum is like fingerprint. Any molecule, if you want to know which molecule it is, you just obtain its spectrum, we will get to know this particular molecule it is. Like how we got to know composition of sun, that sun contains helium, hydrogen, all these things we got to know by getting the spectrum of sunlight. So that spectrum has unique colors in it. That particular colors when we observe, then we get to know what is the composition of sun. It is hydrogen, carbon dioxide, helium. Like this we can get to know. All of you are understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So everything what I am going to talk today is very scientific, and whatever knowledge you are going to get today is completely scientific research done by different scientists. Okay. So what it is said is, so there is a writer by name Joshua Leaf. What does he write?
The power of sound.
Yes. Whether or not we hear the sound, everything has a sound, a vibration, all its own. Means what? Everything in this universe produces a unique sound when it vibrates. Are you all understanding? It means this water bottle also produces sound when it vibrates. It is very unique sound. Mobile phone also produces some unique sound. Every object, every organ in our body produces one sound, which some sounds we can hear, some sounds we cannot hear. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
And that sound is called resonance. Okay? Every object, if you leave some object to vibrate freely, that is called natural vibrations. Every object has natural vibrations, and it vibrates with a particular frequency, that is called natural frequency. Which frequency?
Natural frequency.
Natural frequency.
Yeah. So natural frequency means every object has its own frequency of vibration. That frequency is also called as resonant frequency. What is the other name of that frequency?
Resonant frequency.
Resonance frequency.
So what they say, you see, each part of our body has its own natural resonant frequency. Vibrational medicine is based on the idea that disease is a result of those natural resonances getting out of tune, whether due to stress, illness, or environmental factors. So what it is saying is, all of us have different organs in our body, right? So all these organs vibrate at different frequency. Little bit change in frequency will lead to what? Diseases. All of us get diseases because there is change in the natural frequency of those organs inside our body. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
See, let's say heart. Heart pumps, right? Heart pumps the blood throughout the body. It vibrates. That vibration is of particular frequency. That frequency is called natural frequency. Now, due to external factors, what happens? The frequency of vibration of the heart changes. Then we will get heart diseases. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it too scientific? Am I throwing bouncers on everyone?
No, sir.
No,
No,
right?
sir.
Simple to understand. Every organ in our body has a particular frequency of vibration. Due to external factors, there is something called as resonance, which happens in our body, due to which some organ vibrates at maximum frequency or maximum amplitude. You say vibrations become more. It will be large vibrations. See, due to large vibrations, a hanging bridge can fall down. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
So it's very scientific. You see here, What are the different frequencies? What is this frequency actually? Anyone has heard about frequency? Frequency is number of vibrations in 1 second. What is frequency?
Number of vibrations in a second.
Number of vibrations.
Number of vibrations in 1 second. So let's say body undergoes 10 vibrations in 1 second. So what is its frequency? 10 hertz. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So every organ in our body, I told you, has different frequency of vibration. What is the frequency of vibration of head? 20 to 40 hertz. What is the frequency of vibration of spinal column? Spinal cord? 8 hertz.
8.
Chest wall? 60 hertz. Abdomen? 4 to 8 hertz. Shoulders? 4 to 8 hertz. Lungs? 4 to 8 hertz. Hands and arms? 20 to 70 hertz. Ocular globe? 60 to 90 hertz. Maxilla? 100 to 200 hertz. So different parts of the body vibrate with different frequency.
Sir, what is maxilla?
Maxilla, it is a part of body. I think it is a part of brain. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there are frequencies for every organ of the body and for specific diseases. So when we have a specific disease, our organs vibrate with particular frequency. There are also frequencies for emotion and mental problems. Some imbalances. The thematic instrument is being used to treat are asthma, colitis, diabetes, eczema. So there is one instrument which is used to treat all these mental and psychological problems. What is that instrument called as, students? Thematic instrument. What instrument?
Thematic instrument.
Thematic instrument. So there was one doctor in 1930s, his name was Dr. Rife. So he designed one instrument. This is called thematic instrument or Rife Instrument. In 1930 he designed. So that instrument produces one particular frequency sound. That sound, particular frequency sound, is used to treat diseases like cancer and all. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
So the cancer means what? Some cells die. Those cells are called cancerous cells, right? They are very harmful cells in our body.
Yes,
So
sir.
those cancerous cells has to be killed externally. So they may use gamma rays, that is called chemotherapy, and they can use this instrument called as Rife Instrument, RIFE. This doctor designed this instrument. If you want more details about it, what you should do?
Googling.
Yes. So just go to Google, just type Rife Instrument. You will get very much more information about that. Okay. So it is used in the treatment of many diseases where they use sound of particular frequency to treat the diseases. Okay. So see, they have asked many questions on internet. Do Rife machines cure cancer? Yes. They have ability to cure cancer also. Are you all understanding?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I will show you one video, students, where you will understand that different patterns are found by different kinds of sounds. Different patterns are produced by different kinds of sound. So all of you see this particular video with utmost attention. You will see how different sounds will produce different patterns. Okay. You are able to see the video, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No,
Are
sir.
you-
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you able to see one screen on?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, 2 FPS.
Okay.
The first experiment for the cymatics music video is called a Clarney Plate. Now, Clarney Plate's basically a metal plate attached to the top of a speaker. There's sand on top of the plate, and you play different tones through the speaker. The plate vibrates, which forms different shapes depending on the frequency of the sound.
Well, we blew up a lot of speakers with the Clarney Plate. So there was a lot of experimenting around the Clarney Plate, primarily looking at how much volume we can put through there, how much sand to actually put on the plate, and the different shapes of plates and what different patterns would be created because of those shapes. But what we were really testing was what frequencies create the most interesting repeatable patterns, because that was a key point. So we ended up playing pretty much every audio frequency through the plate to see what different shapes it would form.
And for most frequencies, it doesn't really do much, but when it hits a frequency that resonates with the plate, it forms a really nice pure shape. So we found out what those tones were, and those were the tones we used to drive the plate during the video.
So you saw how they form different patterns, different sounds.
By using
Yes,
sand
sir.
and water.
Yes, sir.
So this machine which they used is called semantic machine. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You might have observed even on water it forms so many patterns. Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
So now
Yes,
you
sir.
understand why every voice creates one particular pattern and we are able to identify it in human body.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Like Tanmay's voice is unique. Advik's voice is also unique. Yeah, Shubhankar's voice is also unique. Yeah, Bhuvan's voice is also unique. So that's why I can say there is one part in human ear called as cochlea. Anyone have heard about that? Cochlea.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there, inside that cochlea, there are some hair kind of pattern. Like this hair kind of pattern will be there inside the cochlea. Whenever sound falls on that hair, it forms a particular pattern like what we saw now. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
God has given us a natural semantic machine inside our ears. So that forms a particular pattern on that hair. That particular pattern reaches the brain and brain says, yes, this is this particular sound. This is Tanmay's sound. This is Shubhankar's sound. Are you all understanding how all of you are having unique sounds and we are able to hear it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I will send you one video in group. You different frequency sound, how it actually sounds. I will show you. If you want, you can watch that video on YouTube. You just type this resonance experiment in YouTube. All of you type this resonance experiment. You will get this particular video of 8 minutes. All of you please be away from the headphone because you are going to hear some different frequency sounds now. So be careful, okay? All of you be little away from the device. Just watch what is happening. Okay?
could just say sand, just 3 quick.
10:33.
1332.
What is it?
1332.
True.
1660.
1660.
Yeah. 1825.
Go ahead and add some more. 1825.
2041.
2041.
2194. 2578.
Got some idea?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So different some kinds of sound, some patterns our ears cannot identify. That's why we are not able to hear that sound. Some patterns our ears can recognize. That's why we can hear that sound. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So everything is a game of sound. Okay. So different kinds of symmetric rangoli patterns it forms. Such nice, wonderful patterns they form, right? That too a symmetric pattern they form. So I had to show further. It is 8-minute video, but we don't have that much time. Anyways, let us go back to PPT. I will share this video in group. You can all watch it. It will be interesting.
Yes, sir.
So it is said our brain also produces different kinds of sound waves. So when we are in deep sleep, you can see here delta wave, theta wave, alpha wave, beta wave. Different frequencies they have. Like when we are in deep sleep, the first wave is produced. When we are in light sleep, we call it as nap, right? All of you have heard about nap, power nap, they say, no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
That is light sleep. So it has frequency. When we are having a light sleep, our brain produces this particular sound. What is that? Theta wave. Second one.
Theta wave.
Yes. Then alpha wave. When we are awake and relaxed. And beta wave, when we are awake and excited. All of you are in which state now?
Sir, awake, sir, and relaxed.
Sir, awake.
Sir,
Alpha wave.
awake and
Alpha wave.
excited.
Some are in relaxed mode, some are in excited mode.
Sir,
Yes,
beta.
correct. Some of you. So there is something called as consciousness with soul producers. We had learnt, right? In last session.
Yes, sir.
Consciousness.
Yes, sir.
So these are the 4 kinds of consciousness. And during that consciousness, these kinds of waves are produced. Are you all understanding? They have
Yes,
different
sir.
frequencies. So frequencies are different. So you can see down what they have written. Like gears of a car, state increases from low to high. Like you might have seen gears in the car, right? It changes from 1, 2, 3, then goes to 4, then 5, then reverse gear different, then neutral gear is different. They are all like energy states. So all of us go through these 4 states, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, when we get deep sleep and light sleep, some of us drink this tea or coffee, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, what is written here? Can someone read here? Down. Stimulants such as caffeine.
Stimulants such as caffeine,
Stimulants such as caffeine,
suppress
surface,
theta and alpha
Shaurya,
waves.
Shaurya, wait. Yes, Tanmay, please.
Stimulants such as caffeine suppress theta and alpha waves and promote beta waves, leading to increased stress, anxiety, and depressed immune function.
Yes. So all of us actually tea and coffee they contain this addictant. What is that? Intoxicant called as caffeine. All of you know this tea and coffee contains caffeine. So what does this tea and coffee do when we drink it? It promotes what? Which waves? Beta waves.
Beta wave.
We come to awake and excited state. We become awake, right, when we drink tea and coffee.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that means which kind of waves will be produced in our body from your consciousness? Beta waves.
Beta.
And caffeine actually suppresses this delta wave and theta wave. Are you all understanding? So we will not
Yes,
be
sir.
deep sleep and light sleep is not possible when we drink tea and coffee. That is because of the intoxicant present in that caffeine. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that's why we get these problems like stress, anxiety, all these kind of problems due to intoxicants. That's why it is said we should not drink alcohol. Alcohol also contains what? Intoxicants. Cigarette also contains tobacco. It is an intoxicant. Yeah. There are many kinds of what is that drugs you might have heard about cocaine, heroin, all this you have heard. Heroin.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
They actually inject these drugs in our body and we go to some other state only. We think we are out of the world. So that is called drug addiction, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But ultimately, what will drug addiction do? It will excite our which waves?
Beta.
Beta waves.
So it brings our consciousness to awake and excited state. And this beta wave is one which promotes anxiety, stress, and depressed mode. Our immunity becomes weak. So don't think that drug addiction will help us. Drug addiction will cause these problems like stress, anxiety, and depression. But what people do when they are in anxiety, they drink alcohol, thinking that we will get rid of anxiety, but that is not true. All of you are understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go. Even our brain produces different kinds of waves like this. See, our earth also produces a particular kind of sound. What is the frequency of that sound?
7.83
7.83 hertz. Can you hear this frequency? 7.83 hertz can we hear? No.
No, sir.
0 to 20 our ears, human ear cannot hear. See, when there is a natural calamity like flood or cyclone going to happen, there is a particular kind of frequency which earth produces. There are some birds which can recognize it, and all the animals in the forest start running before the natural calamity happens. You have heard about this?
Yes, sir.
There are some animals which can detect that some natural calamity, disaster is going to happen. Before only all animals start running. You have heard about this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, there are some animals which can hear those particular frequency sounds. Human beings cannot hear that. See, rats can hear ultrasonic sound. Okay? So,
Yes, sir.
lesser than 20 hertz is called infrasonic sound. And more than 20,000 hertz sound is called ultrasonic sound. And 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, which human beings can hear, that is called audible sound. Okay? So, human beings can hear only audible sound. So, in that video, you could hear that sound, right? That means it is audible sound.
Yes,
Some
sir.
frequencies we cannot hear. Like there is something called as ultrasonic pest repellent. You have heard about it? In some of the restaurants, if you go, there will be one instrument which produces blue light, and it will
Yes, sir.
they will pass electricity through it so that mosquitoes don't come, some insects don't come. Have you seen that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that instrument produces ultrasonic sound, which only rats can hear, which insects can hear, human beings cannot hear. So those rats will hear that sound and run away. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
So see how sound is working, right, in different phases of our life. So see, Earth produces this kind of wave. So this is the shape of that wave. These are called stationary waves. In somewhere in 11th standard in physics, you will learn about stationary waves. So this kind of waves Earth produces. And what is the frequency? Something like 8 hertz, which we cannot hear. So like this, the waves are spread throughout the Earth. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So Earth is also producing a particular kind of sound. It is said even sun produces a particular kind of sound. Have you heard about it?
Yes, sir.
If you go to Google, so it is said sun produces sound. All of you have heard this Om. Before chanting
Yes,
any
sir.
mantra, you say Om.
Yes, sir.
Like today we chanted one mantra, we said Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Milidam Yena. Any mantra you say, it starts with Om, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Ac-
Yes, sir.
In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am that Om sound. Om is actually not a sound of this world. Om is a spiritual sound. What kind of sound? Spiritual.
Spiritual sound.
All of you have chanted some mantras in your life, right? Gayatri mantra you have heard.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
So Gayatri mantra has a particular sound. It is said Gayatri mantra has a particular frequency. Om also has particular frequency. Such kind of sound scientists have heard coming out from the sun. So if you want in Google, you just read about this article. Does the sun make Om sound? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Some people say it is fake sound. Some people say it is
It's
real
real.
sound. But our scripture say that it is real sound. I told now every object produces particular sound. Even earth also produces particular sound. Even sun also has to produce particular sound. Every object produces sound of different frequencies.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it? Understood?
Yes, sir.
So see, how many of you know music? How many of you attend the music classes?
Sir. Me.
Wow, we have many students. Many students who learn Bharatanatyam, many students who learn this classical music. All of you have to learn particular notes, right?
Yes, sir.
Every instrument we use the 7 notes. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. These are 8 notes.
Yes, sir.
And every musical instrument has some different tunes. We call it by different alphabets. You have heard about C minor, C major, D minor, D major, E, F sound, G sound. Have you all heard about this?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
So these are the, yes, very good. Suha knows. So every note has a particular frequency. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. See, actually what I did, I increased the frequency of sound. Right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
By different sounds, different frequencies I created, and just mix all these frequencies together, it makes one song. Are you all
Yes, sir.
understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Every musical instrument works on these 7 particular notes, which we call sapta swaras. Right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So see, these are the frequencies of these different sounds. Take one screenshot. You can have a look at it later. You see, these are the different note frequencies of different instruments. 1046. 130 hertz frequency, can we hear? We can hear. Human beings can hear between 20 to 20,000.
Yes, sir.
Now all these frequencies are between 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So all of us can hear this, isn't it?
Sir. Yes, sir.
But all of them have different frequencies. That's why we can recognize all these different tunes. I told you, in human ear, a particular pattern is formed in our cochlea. So that's why we are able to detect different kinds of sounds when a musical instrument is being played. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All of you know our human body has 6 main chakras. Chakra.
Yes, sir.
In Yogasana, when a person is doing yoga, you can see some circular points on the body, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Actually, they are invisible chakras. Human beings cannot see it, but it is real. So along this spine, all of you know there is a spine going from top to bottom of our body, human body.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So along the spinal cord, there are 6 chakras. They have different names. One is called Mooladhara chakra. They have different activities. So what is the first chakra? What is the activity of first chakra? Liberating guilt and fear. What is the work of second chakra? Undoing facilitating change. Suddenly something's change in our life, right? That time which chakra will work? Second chakra will work. If some transformation and miracle happens in your life, then which chakra is working? Third chakra.
Chakra.
When you become emotional in relationships and connecting with people, which chakra is working? Fourth chakra. Awakening intuition, that is happening by fifth chakra.
Chakra.
What is this intuition, students? Intuition is spontaneous reaction which doesn't need any intelligence. All of you are understanding? Do animals have intelligence
Yes, sir.
like human beings?
No, no, sir.
No. So we say animals work by intuition. Like you might have seen how a goat is given some grass and kept outside the mutton shop. You might have seen. So goat is not concerned about its death. At that time, goat is getting something to eat. So it is just eating and it is enjoying.
Yes, sir.
After some time, they take it to inside and they kill it and they hang it upside down. So that
Yes,
is called
sir.
intuition. They don't use their intelligence. They just want their food. Eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Only 4 things animal knows. So that is called intuition. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Intuition is a situation where we need not use our intelligence. All of you are understanding?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
then every organism has intelligence.
Yeah, intelligence. See, intuition is a state where we need not use our intelligence. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Like for eating, do you need intelligence?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So that eating is nothing but happens through intuition. So intuition happens through 5th chakra. And spiritual activities like control of mind, intelligence, false ego, all these things happen through what? 6th chakra. Okay? And there is another chakra called as 7th chakra, which vibrates at 963 hertz. So all these chakras are also vibrating and they have a particular frequency. And all these 6 chakras in human body, they control all the functions of our different organs of our body. All of you are understanding?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
See, let's say there is a chakra here. So that chakra controls the face part of my body. There is a chakra here that controls these particular organs. Like this, we have 7 chakras which control different organs, different activities of human body. Did you all understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And every chakra vibrates with particular frequency. All the chakras don't vibrate with same frequency. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So see, like this, they saw chakras in human body, right?
Yes, sir.
So these chakras are present along the line of spinal cord, and they cannot be seen because they are invisible. Okay? Don't try to cut a human body and try to find chakras because they are invisible. Okay? Now, see, these are all scientific research. Do you know plants are affected by sound? Do you know this?
No, sir.
Yes,
It is
sir.
said if you give bad words to plants, they do not grow properly.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You know
sir.
this?
Yes, sir.
If you talk good about the plant, it will grow so nicely.
Sir,
Yes,
why,
sir.
sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir, it only needs sunlight, photosynthesis, and
I
water.
don't know. Every organ in the plant also needs certain frequency sound. If you change the frequency, then diseases will come. I told no. Like that, plants it does not grow properly if you give different frequency to that plant. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Now, earlier days, mothers used to sing this lullaby to make the child sleep. All of you know? Lori, they say, no? Lori, you have heard?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
मछली जल की रानी है जीवन उसका पानी है. Like this, mothers used to sing some songs and the child used to sleep. Now, classical music, all of you know classical music and rock music.
Yes, sir.
How many of you like
Yes,
rock
sir.
music? All these BTS songs are rock music. So many students like rock music. How many of you like classical music? Classical means old Indian songs, right? Indian songs, classical music, like different musical instrument, they produce classical music. And some instrument produce rock music. Like there is something called harmonium. Harmonium produces classical music. Have you all heard about drums?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can drums produce classical music? When you hear
Yes.
drum sound, can you sleep peacefully?
No, sir.
But when you hear classical music, you can sleep peacefully.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, don't you think that our human body can accept only sounds of some frequencies and it does not accept sounds of other frequencies? For different
Yes, sir.
activities, different kinds of sounds are required. For sleeping, you cannot play rock sound. If you put earphone and play rock sound and try to sleep, is it possible? Not at
No,
all
sir.
possible.
No,
We
sir.
can't sleep.
No, sir.
But if you put some, what is that, raga, this, raga prabhat, like this, different kinds of ragas are there.
Yes, sir.
So if you hear such kind of songs, then
Peaceful
that
music.
particular frequency will reach the brain and it will make you sleep. Are you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, I have experienced personally. Whenever I read Bhagavad Gita, I feel like sleeping. Whenever I read physics, all of you might have experienced when the moment you start studying, sleep will conquer you. Isn't it? Most of the sleep students do is in the class, in the school. When the teacher is teaching, they sleep. Because some kinds of frequencies, they make us sleep. If a teacher is singing classical music song, then you will go to sleep. Teacher is shouting like anything, screaming, yelling. Will you be able to sleep? Even a sleeping person will wake up.
Yes, sir.
Because, hey, Tanmay, get up.
Yes.
You will immediately, sleeping person also will get up. So,
Yes, sir.
different kinds of sound affects us, affects our consciousness. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
So same thing happened with these plants. So they did this experiment in 1989. They played some songs in front of plants. They grew very nicely. They played some other music. Plants did not grow only. So see, this kind of researches they did. Same kinds of research they did with rats also. They produce some kinds of sound. Some rats, their lifespan they calculated. So some kinds of sound they played, rats lived for 20 more days. Some rats died early. Some rats they lived for long lifespan. They had a long lifespan. Are you all understanding in this research what they are doing?
Yes, sir.
So they produce different kinds of sound and they check their life.
Sir, they are testing on the rats.
Yes. So see, it is said some rats they become angry. They start attacking people. If you produce some kinds of sounds, they start attacking people. Some kinds of sounds you produce, the rats will be very peaceful. All of you, you know how they catch snakes?
Yes.
They play one particular pungi, this instrument. You have seen that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So that particular sound they produce, it bamboozles, it attracts the mind of the snake and snake comes out. And then that particular snake catcher, he catches that snake and puts it in the box. Are you all understanding what is happening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, that
So-
frequency is good for the snake.
Yes. So if you want to catch a snake, so through particular music, you can catch the snake also. So I will show you in YouTube, you can watch some video on how to catch a snake. How to catch a snake? You want to learn?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Earlier movies you might have seen, to catch a particular snake, they used to produce some sound and they used to So students, don't create this kind of sounds in your house. Sleeping snakes may come out. Be careful. Okay, you understood now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So classical music reduces cortisol and stress levels. So what is
Cortisol means?
I'll tell. So whenever we get stressed, whenever something happens in our body, there is something called as hormones which are produced. You know hormones? Hormones. There is something called as adrenaline hormone. Whenever we become angry, adrenaline is released in the brain. That is something called as pituitary gland in our brain, which produces different kinds of hormones. When we become angry, one particular hormone is produced. When we become too emotional, one hormone is produced. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, there is something called as stress hormone. Which hormone?
Stress hormone.
Stress hormone.
So this cortisol is called as a stress hormone released in human body. Cortisol is what? All of you have heard about hormones and enzymes, right?
Yes, sir.
So when we are stressed, when we are in anxiety, so nowadays it is said no, nowadays the youth are stressed, depressed, yet well dressed. So people are stressed, depressed, but still they are well dressed. They wear nicely, so nicely clothes they wear and come, but still from inside they are stressed and depressed. So whenever we are in anxiety, tension, stress, these kind of hormones are produced. But it is said when we hear classical music, the stress hormones are suppressed. We don't feel stressed. We don't feel anxiety. We don't feel depressed. And classical music solves most of our mental problems. Are you all understanding?
Yes, sir.
So sometimes the doctor recommends don't hear rock music for next 2 months. If you hear rock music, what happens? We feel anxiety, stressed, and depressed.
Will be increased.
One more thing I told you. When we drink coffee, tea, and intoxicants, that time also which hormone is produced? Stress hormone, anxiety hormone is produced. Are you all understanding what I am trying to tell?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did you all understand why addiction is not good? Drug
Yes, sir.
addiction is not good.
Yes, sir.
Your whole frequency system of your body will get demolished, and your body will be storehouse of many diseases. Your body will get diseases because of change in frequencies only.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
if you want to reduce stress, what kind of sound you should hear?
Classic sounds.
Classical music. Simple sound. We should not hear rock music. We should try to hear classical music. So loud and fast music produces stress. Now if I shout loudly, all of you will feel stressed, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
we should never hear loud and fast music. That's why in mobile phone there is some volume limit, right? If you go above that volume, it will become red color. You have seen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it is said hearing music at very loud sound may damage our eardrums. All of you know loudness. There is something called as loudness. We should never stand in front of jet engine. Aeroplanes have engine, right? If you stand near the aeroplane engine, gone. Eardrum is gone.
Yes,
If
sir.
someone bursts near your ears, gone. Industries produce very loud sound. That's why we teachers say don't make noise in the class. Why?
Sir, noise pollution and stress will get increased.
Yes, it is called bad sound. There is something called as smooth sound or sweet music, and there is something called as noise. Noise is good or bad?
Sir, bad.
Bad.
Bad. Because teacher cannot tolerate all his anxiety hormones will come out if people start making that particular loudness sound. So that's why you say, I want pin drop silence, teacher says, right? when pin falls on the ground, it doesn't make that much sound. Yeah. So all of you have heard about ultrasonic weapon. So there are some certain weapons which produce these ultrasonic sounds. Ultrasonic sound is very dangerous because they are very high frequency sound. High frequency sound can destroy our cells and it can kill us. Are you all understanding? Why jet sound is not good? Because jets produce ultrasonic sounds. Jets can go at speed more than sound also, right?
Yes,
You have
sir.
heard about it?
Yes.
That is called ultrasonic, supersonic jets. You have heard? Supersonic jets, they can
Yes,
go
sir.
at speed more than sound. So it produces something called a sonic boom, because of which the glass gets shattered. A window glass breaks sometimes. When a jet passes nearby your building, sometimes the windows get shattered. The glass breaks. That is because it produces sonic boom.
Yes, sir.
Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So ultrasonic weapons, they can also kill us. So Brahmastra and all earlier days weapons were there. Nuclear bomb is very dangerous. But nuclear bomb works on what?
Nucleus.
It produces very large amount of energy, not sound. It produces sound also, and it produces.
More energy.
That's why before the Mahabharata war, all of you have learnt about Mahabharata war.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
before the war starts, every person in the war used to blow a conch shell. Shanka, all of you know Shanka. Shank, they say no.
Yes, sir.
So it is said
Sir, by seashell.
Shank produces particular kind of sound which is very auspicious. That's why before in temples you might have seen they blow conch shell before opening the darshan. You have seen that?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Because
sir.
it produces auspicious sound. You might have seen temples, in that you might have seen bells, right? There is a bell made of. So that produces particular sound which is very auspicious, right? That ton 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 sound comes no nearby your house from some temple. It is very nice to
Yes,
hear.
sir.
Instead, if you put one electric bell, brrr sound it makes. Will you be able to hear? No, right?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So that's why you see music. Music also is in three modes. Mode of sattva, rajasic. So there are three modes of music. Which are those? Goodness, passion,
ఇప్పుడు
ignorance. What are the three kinds of music? Goodness, passion, ignorance. So classical music comes in mode of goodness. So it is very auspicious. Some rock music comes in mode of passion. When we hear rock music, what kind of situation we will be having? We will be shaking our head and we will be dancing literally, right? The sound comes over. But in classical music, we will just to be about listening it very peacefully, right? Aha, what a sound we say, right? That is mode of goodness sound. Passionate music will be like this. Dul, 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 dul. That sound produces, no? That is mode of passion. Mode of ignorance means that drums you might have seen. Tatru, 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 and noise, that is mode of ignorance, which we can never hear properly. So music, mode of good sound will be peaceful to hear. In Rajasic, we will become active, right? If someone shouts at you that is passionate, which is very passionate, we will wake up. And mode of ignorance sound means it is irrational. Irrational means it creates noise pollution. Understood, students? You see different patterns which I showed. This kind of patterns I showed you, right?
Yes, sir.
See, this is sound of a demon. When demon makes sound, this is the pattern which you get. It looks like demon only, see?
Yes, sir.
See, this is the sound which universe is producing, and this kind of pattern universal sound produces. So nice, you see, like Rangoli it is producing. What is this?
Yes, sir.
This is yantra sound.
Yes, sir.
Om. Om sound produces this kind of pattern. See, this is the shape of our universe. This is Milky Way Galaxy. It has a particular pattern, you see.
Yes, sir.
Like you might have seen pineapple. Pineapple has some particular pattern. Our human ears have this kind of pattern, right? Like you can see
Yes, sir.
shell. Shell, can you see? You have seen this insect, snail, you might have seen, right? It has a shell like this.
Yes, sir.
You see, universe also is designed like a shell. You can see conch shell. Milky Way Galaxy is like a conch shell. The middle one you can see here. Pattern you see. Pineapple also has a particular shape. Our human ear also has a particular shape like this only. Our human ear has this kind of shape only. You have seen properly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what does our ear also receives different kinds of sound, and then that sound goes to mind, then mind to brain. Brain analyzes that sound and then we hear the sound. And finally, what do you get? When you hear the sound, what do you get?
Brain stores it for the future.
Knowledge. We get knowledge through sound only, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Your teacher has to speak in the class, only then you will get knowledge.
Yes, sir.
If I mute my audio and speak, will you understand anything?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No,
No,
right?
sir.
You didn't understand anything.
No, sir.
Yeah. So it is said this whole universe is created from sound only. And sound passes through this medium called as ether. I told about it. See, there is one sloka in one scripture which says this universe was created from sound. All these 5 elements were created from sound. Which are those 5 elements? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. You heard about this Pancha Mahabhutas?
Yes, sir.
So see, because sky is transformed, the air is generated with the quality of touch. And by previous succession, air is also full of sound. And the basic principles of duration of life, sense perception, mental power, bodily strength, all these are related to sound. When the air is transformed in course of time, fire is generated. So sound becomes air becomes fire. And then fire produces sense of touch and sound. So what produces sense of touch and sound? Fire.
Fire.
And since fire is also transformed, there is manifestation of water. Fire becomes water, and water is full of juice and taste. All of you know taste comes from water. So what this sloka says that we are all made up of 5 elements, right? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. These are the 5 elements with which our body is made. And all of us have 5 sense organs. So there are 5 sense perceptions, right? Which are the 5 sense perceptions?
Sir,
Seeing, smelling, tasting, and touch. So all these sense perceptions are provided by 5 elements. What are those? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Did you all understand?
yes, sir.
So this is what our scriptures have to say. Okay, students, I hope you got enough knowledge about sound today. In our next session, I will be teaching you how to meditate through sound vibrations. There are every sloka, mantras. All of you know mantras, right? When we chant mantras, it produces particular frequency of sound.
Yes, sir.
All of you know mantras are in which language?
Sanskrit.
Sanskrit. So this Sanskrit is a particular kind of language which produces particular frequency sound, which is very soothing to hear. It is very soothing to hear Sanskrit sound. If I talk in Russian language, will you be able to understand?
No.
What did you understand? Sanskrit also we don't understand, but it is said Sanskrit nourishes the brain cells. Those who speak Sanskrit, those who chant mantras, what happens to them? Their brain cells get nourished. Are you all understanding?
Sir. Yes, sir.
How important sound is? I told you, Sanskrit mantras, they come in classical music. Sanskrit mantras come in classical music, and they are very, very pleasing to hear, isn't it? When you go to some temples, pujaris chant mantras, right? It is so soothing to the mind, right? When they chant mantras. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Nama, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namne Gaurat Tushe Nama. Like this they chant mantras. So soothing it is. Isn't it? So, in our next class, I will be teaching all of you how to meditate using sound vibrations. Do you understand why today's session is very important?
Yes, sir.
So we will learn how to meditate through sound vibrations in our next session, which is the 5th session, which we will be having in the next week. And that will be our 5th session, last session. All of you should give your attendance Okay, all of you should be present in that session because you are going to learn the most important part of our value education course, that is meditation. What kind of meditation we can do so that our mind can be peaceful, so that we can get time to study, so that we can peacefully study in our life. So all of you are ready to attend the next session?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will be sharing one feedback form in the group. All of you please give today's feedback, today's session feedback. What all you learned, which point you liked in the session, all of you please mention in it. Okay, students?
Yes,
So,
sir.
so from my side, I am completing this session now. So thank you very much for attending the session and showing your enthusiastic participation. If anyone has doubts, you can stay back for 5 more minutes, ask your doubts. Other students, you can leave. So thank you. Have your
Thank you,
dinner
sir.
now and good night. Next session we will meet. Anyone has any doubts? No, no one has any doubts? Okay, students, thank you very much. I see there is no doubt to any of the students. We will all meet in next class. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, sir.